Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Kashimi Paulendo. It is a beautiful Sunday, and I'm back with another video. And yeah, if you're new here, please subscribe, share, comment, and most of all, remember to click the notification button right up there so you can be notified when I give you something new to listen to. Anyways, yes, I am blondish today. If you're in Calgary, you can get this beautiful, beautiful piece from Sally's Beauty. They're in Marlborough Mall, Sunridge Mall, and I believe somewhere around Sunridge Way. I think they're all over the city. Yeah, but they have beautiful, beautiful pieces, and most of all, they're black owned. So yes, support, 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 support. They need it. And God knows we need black owned shops. Anyways, I missed you guys, and yeah, today's video we are going to talk about a very interesting topic: how to manage an intercultural marriage. Today's topic is very interesting. I felt I needed to do a video on how to handle or how to survive an intercultural marriage. I mean, if you haven't watched my introduction video, then you probably do not know that this household is a Ghanaian Zambian household. My husband is Ghanaian. Yes, he is Ghanaian. He is all of that chocolate goodness that comes from Ghana. Yeah, and I'm Zambian, of course. Zambia has beautiful women. What can I say? I present the evidence. I feel silly today. So yeah, anyways, the first 2 years of being married, I was a wreck. I didn't know how to handle the complex differences between West African culture and Southern African culture. It was a lot to take in, and I just had to sit myself down and figure it out because nobody prepares you for that. I mean, you fall in love with a handsome man and he whisks you away. He's from a different country. He's beautiful. And then you're like, yeah, of course I'll marry you. And then you forget about all the the entanglements that are going to happen later. That's what happened to me. I mean, I just said yes, and then I figured I'm just gonna figure it out as we move along. And figuring out I had to do. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And before we go ahead, I just want to let you know that for me and my husband to be together, we had to jump through some hoops, you know? Not everybody was supportive on my end, anyways. My dad and my stepmom were awesome about it, which of course they have an intercultural marriage. You would expect that. But my mom was not on board with it. I love her. We love her. She was not on board with it. She had never done something like that. So, of course, she cautioned me heavily against it. But I was a girl in love and on a mission. Nothing was going to stand in my way. So I grabbed the bull by the horn and I rode it. I'm still riding it, by the way. Yeah, so yeah, we had to do that. And then I was in school. A lot of people felt I wasn't ready, but my heart was telling me, just do it. And my mind was we were already there. I had pictured it all, and nothing, and I mean nothing, not even a baby, was going to stop me. Yeah, so we eloped. And here we are today. But let me tell you, that came at a cost. We were so unprepared. West African culture is so rich, okay? I tell you, it is heavily loaded, not just in terms of the food, but the rules, the do's and don'ts, and uh, let's just specify the tribe that my husband comes from. The tales he's told me are very terrifying. Yeah, but I love Ghanaian culture. It's so rich and beautiful and welcoming and warm. So I couldn't wait to be a part of it. At first, I fell in love with the food, then I fell in love with the man. Tasha. Yes, of course. The food was my first love. And then the man came along with it. And I had to make sure I found one. Wait, was I really looking for specifics? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I made sure he could cook because I had to make sure that food was in my household. So yeah, that was one attracting factor for me. But here's how I got introduced to the Ghanaian community in Canada. When I first arrived here, I was in grade 11. Yeah. So I left my country when I was in grade 11. And then I came here when grade 11 was starting in September. So school was starting in September. So I had to restart grade 11. And yeah, so when I was in high school, I met this gorgeous girl. Her name was Christina. She was from Ghana. We became friends. She would do my hair and we would hang out at her house and they would cook and eat and we would, just goof around, talk about men. And then that's how I got introduced to the culture. And eventually she introduced me to a friend and the friend became a boyfriend and then that didn't work out. Then da 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 da. Fast forward, we are with Mr. Special. Yeah, so that's how I ended up in the community, and that was about 12 years ago. And since then, Ghana has been a part of my life, and I eat. So yeah, I just zoned out. Yeah, so I ended up meeting Mr. Special, and then we dated about a year and a half. Then we decided, okay, we're gonna do this. Yeah, so we did it. But Ghanaian culture is fun, but it also comes with restrictions. First of all, there's the part of religion. They're very religious people, and majority are Christians. So one of the musts that my husband's mom needed was that I be a good Christian girl. Yeah. Me. I used to be, don't get me wrong. I used to be a Christian girl. I grew up Christian. My mother beat me into it pretty much. And yeah. So yeah, I qualified by being a Christian girl, but then with time for another video, I left the religion. But my husband stuck along. He's a sweetheart. Yeah, so you have to be religious. And then Zambia too is a religious country. We are officially a Christian nation, believe it or not, despite all the corruption going on there. But yeah, Christianity is the thing there. So yeah, that part matches. So we both Christians, that was a check. Um, and I got lucky because the tribe where my husband comes from, his Ewe, they eat nshema. They just call it akle. So I was so lucky there. I didn't have to lose anything in terms of eating a staple food. So we had a common ground. In addition to the fufu and the kenke and the banku and the jollof rice. Of course, Ghanaian jollof rice is the best. Duh, Nigeria, don't even start. Yeah, so there was that. And I think my biggest challenge was it happened when we had the baby. Yeah, because we had very different views in terms of what to do when you have a newborn, responsibilities, and all that. But the first year, my husband bathed the baby. I could not bathe my first. I was so scared. She was so tiny. But that man did it. I'm not even kidding. It was a shock. That was a cultural shock for me because the men in my country don't deal with baby stuff. It's unheard of. Unless now, maybe, with the whole modern thing going on. But he bathed that baby on his laps and all and everything like that. And I was also in school. I was finishing up my uni, the last year of it. So I would be gone to school for 6 hours and he would have the baby by himself for 6 hours. God sent, I'm telling you. Yeah. So there was that. And then another thing is our views on infidelity. Yeah, so pretty much it's a culture thing. Where my husband comes from, you can't cheat on your husband or something bad will happen. Yeah, take that in. Whereas my belief is if you cheat, I also can cheat. Like we have that, you know, I can't find the words, guys. I can't find the words. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. My baby severed her finger. She put her hand by the dough and then I closed it. I didn't know. So her finger is badly hurt. So it was a very long day. She's in pain. I'm in pain. She's been wailing, yelling, screaming, which she rightfully should do because she's badly injured. So, anyways, both men and women have the ability to cheat, and nothing is going to happen apart from a ruined marriage. So, anyways, my thought was you can't cheat because if you cheat, then it's gonna push me into cheating because I love revenge. And then we're just gonna ruin each other. So he told me about how where he comes from, women cannot cheat on their husbands. And if they find out and he decides to stay, he gets sick. And apparently it's true. So that was a shock for me. Yeah. But anyways, here are the tips on how I handle our differences, because obviously we have different upbringings, the different culture, different rules, different, a lot of differences, but it's what makes it beautiful. But it can also be dirty, like it can really be nasty if you're not strong. And here are my tips on how I handle it. So I'm mostly compassionate in how I react to things. If I'm overwhelmed by anger, I freak out and all of that, but I cut it out in time before I say things that are going to be hurtful. You have to be kind. And by kindness, I mean you have to be aware that you're two different beings that are coming together to make things work. You have to look at the other person as a human being who has been raised in his own way, on her own way, and you cannot expect them to drop everything they have known in order to embrace what you have known your entire life. It's unfair. It's stupid. Don't do it. 3 is just be open. Be open to learn new things. I love a lot of things I'm learning about how they do it in Ghana. And sometimes he likes how we do it in Zambia, how things are done in Zambia. Just be open to things. I'm adventurous, so that's not a problem for me. But if you're closed minded, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. If that's you, you just better pack up and go find another being like you that is exactly like you. And good luck doing that. And another thing is be loving and gentle. Approach it delicately. If there's a misunderstanding in a different sense, like there's an indifference that you can't come to terms with, approach it gently. Then embrace step 1, 2, 3. Incorporate that in. Then it's going to work. I haven't been married for long, guys. I've only been married for, let's see, 2015, 5 years. So yeah, I'm still new to it, but these days, 5 years is the 30-year, pretty much. Marriages are ending very quickly, and I'm so proud of myself that I've managed this for 5 years. I need a medal. I'm so full of myself, I know. But anyways, I was handed an easygoing partner. He's so loving. He's so kind. I mean, he's not perfect. Nobody is. But I'm not going to tell you all the negatives that I think of. I'm just going to tell you the positives because I'm trying to be positive. That's another step. Be positive. If you are hell-bent on saying that we come from different countries and this is not going to work, then it's not going to work. I went in very positive. My dad and my stepmom are from 2 different countries and they've been married for close to 25 years now. They make it work. They're from the same southern end of Africa, but still, it's 2 different countries, and they've made it work. So that was my hope. Had I stuck to what my mom told me, don't do it, you don't know, and all of that, I wouldn't have made it this far. I would have only been looking at all the negatives, all the things that could go wrong, and we wouldn't be here today. So yeah, being in an intercultural marriage is intense, but I know it could be worse if it was biracial marriage. That's a whole different set of rules altogether. Like if it's if it's a biracial intercultural marriage, because it could be biracial and you've all grown up in North America. Duh, that's easy as pie. But it could be an African person marrying a person from North America, then that's heavy because there's so much to navigate. So anyways, yeah, be kind, be gentle and loving, be compassionate, be positive, be loving, and be patient. Number 7, be patient. In time, things get better. At first, I was just like, oh my God, what is this? How do you do this? Like, how is this even acceptable? But I think I've learned to be patient, and it's paying off because these days things are getting easier and easier. Like we're getting to know each other more and more. Like I know what makes him tick, know where to nudge, and he knows where to push my buttons and where not to. Or so I think. I think he's still learning. Yeah, but yeah, but overall, intercultural marriages are beautiful. They are so sublime if you let them be. There's a whole plethora of things you could learn and teach each other. Unfortunately, the downside is the language barrier. We can only speak English. God, it's boring. Yeah, especially for the kids. Like it's so confusing. We don't know how they need a second language, a native language. What is it going to be? I try as best as I can to speak to them in my language, but it's so hard and challenging when I'm the only parent that speaks it. The same applies for him. And they're just days like I just want to speak my language for Christ's sake. But you know what? It's not as important as just laying down next to the person I love and just speak to them in English. Yeah, it's still a language, so we make it work that way. But we've learned to incorporate different foods to just make sure we are, broadening our options. That's a plus. You don't have to eat the same thing every day. When he cooks his food. Sometimes he's doing my type of food, and I'm right there coaching him through it. And the same applies to him. I don't like cooking, but I try. And he tries to teach me, but I purposefully fail because I don't like cooking and I just love his food. But yeah, overall, that's the story of us. We're 5 years, we're going to be 6 years old soon in marriage, and I couldn't be happier. On another time, I really want to address trauma and how it can affect your marriage life. Personally, I have dealt with trauma in many different forms, and I would love to engage you in the next video that I'm going to do on how unaddressed trauma can be very damaging if left unaddressed for a long time. But overall, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I was a little bit unprepared today. Well, I prepared, but based on what happened with my baby, I was a little bit shaken and I was scrambling. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. I love your support. Comment below, ask questions. I would love to answer them. You can also comment on what content you would like me to do more. I know I've talked about I would do some weight loss topics. That's coming up. It's gonna be coming on soon. I'm just trying to get myself ready for that. And yeah, any other suggestions I would love to. And yeah, just remember to take care of yourselves. Ladies, men, get yourself self-care, address mental health, and just stay Jay-Z. Just stay cozy. Be okay. Times are hard. Try to find an okay space for you. Check in with yourselves. Yeah. So thank you.